Hey guys, welcome to MD Prospect. For those of you who are new, my name is Jimmy. I'm a third-year medical student here in Canada. And today, I will be going over must-have apps for all high-functioning students. And as you can see, it's analyzing everything. I think I have around like 24 press update document. See how it formats? Here you have it. Analytical, is just dragging on the side here. So these apps have saved me so much time, anxiety, and stress that out of all the videos that I created so far on YouTube for the past 3 years, this has to be the most helpful video that I can make for you. This video will be especially useful for upper year university students and pre-professional students like medical students and graduate students who will have to do any sort of writing or research. So if you're a high school student, good on you for watching this video this early. You may use it later on, but you may not need these apps just yet. So here's the list of apps that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about Proquest Refworks, GraphPad Prism, Grammarly, Magnet, and Self-Control. I'll show you exactly how they work and how you can install it on a step-by-step guide so that you can use it to your own advantage. Okay, so first we're going to discuss Proquest Refworks. So this is a citation and reference organizer that you can integrate with your web browser and your Word document. With this program, you wouldn't have to worry about citations or reference organization ever again. And with the university email account, you should have free access to this. You know, I still remember as a first year undergraduate student in Bio 101 in the lab component, I had to write a paper with multiple references. So this may very well apply to you if you're in your first year undergrad as well. And now in medical school, when I'm doing research, I had to write manuscripts with 50 plus references, and I wouldn't have been able to do any of it without Proquest. So this is a lifesaver. Okay, so first I will show you how it works, and second I will show you how to install it on a step-by-step guide so that you can use it right away. Okay, so first let's imagine that you're writing a document on coronavirus, for example. So you go to PubMed, which is a database for all medical literature. So you search coronavirus, for example, coronavirus. And then let's just click the first free article that you see here. And you want to use this article, like you want to use some line here and integrate it into your document. So what you do here is, as opposed to going to a citation manager, copying the title and the journal and everything, what you do is you simply click this Chrome extension, Refworks, and as you can see, it's analyzing everything. And it shows up everything. So journal article, host factor in coronavirus replication, you got all the tags auto-generated, you got the authors, and you got the journal, published date, volume, and then you have the abstract built into this system. And all you do is click Save to Refworks. And then I pre-made a folder, you can make a folder yourself. So I made a coronavirus folder and you can just import it and it's done. So citation is already generated automatically. So you open up your paper that you're writing on. So I already pre-made this document. So you write your introduction and then coronavirus proteins that are expressed in the infected cell contributes to the virus host interplay. And that's the direct citation that you used. So you gotta use Refworks to put a citation there. So what you do is you click this add-in on the Microsoft Word that is already built in. So you click right behind the period here. So you go to last imported, and that paper that I just cited is right here. So I click that, check mark that, and I insert citation. And then it's formatting. And it shows up, and it puts your citation right there. And then your bibliography or references auto-generated. All right, so let's go ahead and put in a second manuscript that you want to add to your document. So I'm going to choose this coronavirus cis-acting RNA elements document. And I want to add some line from an abstract here. So I click Refworks again, analyzing, and then you basically click Save to Refworks. You import it. Let's say I don't want to put it into a folder. That's totally fine too. You can organize it on the website after. So I go to all references or last imported, and then it's right there. So right here behind the period, I can add in that citation, and then it will auto-generate everything. Another great thing about Refworks Citation Manager is that you can change citation style. So I currently have it, what do I have it on? An Annals of Thoracic Surgery, for example. But you know, your teacher says, oh, you know what, you gotta have, you know, APA citation style, 5th edition. So it's right there. So you just click update, and it will automatically reformat everything for you. just like that. It's absolutely beautiful. And if you go to their website, refworks.proquest.com, you can see all the references that you use so far, and you can create folders, you know, and then put your references into those folders, and then organize them. So if I have something not in the folder, you know, I can transfer them, assign to folder, and then to coronavirus, and then you have your organization right there. So this is a beautiful program that I think all students should use, and I'll show you exactly how to set everything up now. So you basically search Proquest Refworks on Google, go to the first website that you see, and then you will be asked to log in. So let's say you logged in, and then you come to this page right here to all references, their main menu after you log in. So from here, what you do is you go to Tools, and you go to Tools, within Tools, and then you will be met with this web page. So you click Install Save Refworks, and you see this button right here. You basically drag it, and then you put it on your bookmarks right there. And then you have your Chrome extension, or not an extension, but a bookmark right here. So what you can do is you can go to PubMed, and then find an article, and you can click that, and then it will auto-generate your citations right here. So once you've bookmarked everything and you organized your folders and everything, you need to integrate that into your Microsoft Word. So what you do is you go to Insert, you go to Add-ins, and then you press Get Add-ins. And then here you just search Refworks. And this is the first one that you see here. You press Add, you press Continue, and then once you press Continue, you will see it right here. Everything is generated. One thing that you got to do is whenever you're using Refworks and dealing with citations, you always got to have this add-in open every time you open your Word document. So what you got to do is go to Insert, Add-ins, click My Add-ins. This is when this citation manager is not open, okay? So you click Proquest Citation Manager and you press Add, and then you'll see this tab on the side. Okay, so another situation that I can think of when I'm writing something is if I have written all the sentences and have everything referenced, sometimes I may want to change the order of the sentences. So I want to put this sentence over here before that one. But you know, there's a 2 here and 1 here, and you sometimes have to like delete it and change it. But with Proquest Refworks, you don't have to do any of that. So all you do is you press Update Document and see how it formats. 1 becomes 2 and 2 becomes 1, and your references order are changed too. So this is a magical work. And I'll show you like a sample of the manuscript that I wrote for my MD special training and research. So for this one, I think I have around like 24 references, and everything is in order. You know, I formatted everything so quickly, and I didn't have to worry about references at all. So this was a thing of beauty. So that's basically everything. You don't have to worry about citing or organizing your references ever again. Just put in your school ID and you should be able to access this free. So the second application that I want to talk about is GraphPad Prism. Unfortunately, this is quite costly. It's around $108 USD per year. So I think that's around 130 to 140 Canadian dollars. But if you're doing research, making any graphs or working with data, doing any statistical analysis, this will save you so much time and hassle because you wouldn't have to worry about, you know, changing everything on Excel, and that takes a lot of time. So I recommend you get this, and you can ask your research PI if he can cover your cost for this. Okay, so let me show you how this works. So I already have the GraphPad Prism open already. So let me just pull up a sample data here. Let me delete this note right here. So you have, for example, untreated group, placebo group, treated group that you generated the numbers for in your experiments. And to run your statistical analysis and generate a graph on Excel, it can be, you know, very confusing and all that. But here it's very accessible. So if I go to results, new analysis here, I can basically run one-way ANOVA or t-test, any statistical analysis so easily. And they have everything basically laid it out. They laid it out in a understandable language as opposed to like highly statistical specific language, so you can kind of run it. So if you just run on ANOVA, you get your p-value, and then you can see if there's any significant difference among your data. And then to generate a graph, it's so easy. You can, you know, access all different types of data so quickly. So let's say you just wanted a simple bar graph. There you have it. And you can just change your title. So let's say this is experiment, different sample groups, and this is number of days, for example, number of days. And then you can change your title. Let's say you don't want to use black and white, you can easily change the colors here. So let's say you want something like blue, and then you can quickly export this. So you just export it, and most research papers want it in a TIFF format. It's already in the 300 dpi, and you literally export this. Already exported it already. So here you can see the PDF document of that graph in like super high resolution already. You don't have to do any of the standard error bars or the y-axis, x-axis, the text and all that. It's already all formatted, so this is a lifesaver. In terms of installing GraphPads, all you need to do is just search GraphPad on Google, go to their first link, and then you'll be able to see the pricing option. And then there's a free trial which lasts for 30 days. You do need a university email account, so just keep that in mind. The third application I want to talk about is Grammarly. And I know that you've seen Grammarly ads all the time on YouTube, but there is a Grammarly for your Chrome extension, and there's Grammarly for your desktop. So if you're writing anything on Word documents, your Chrome extensions wouldn't work, so you would have to download specifically the desktop version, and this saves so much time on editing your grammar, and it's kind of a miracle, to be honest, for someone like an immigrant who didn't know how to speak English and having to write everything now. Grammarly, checking up on your grammar is just fantastic. So let me just show you how the Grammarly works on desktop. So you just need to search Grammarly for Mac, Word, and then you go to Grammarly for Mac, and then you can download specifically not the Google Chrome extension, but for Mac desktop version. So once you have downloaded that, you can open Grammarly. So once you open Grammarly, you'll see this front page. So you basically import a paper. So let's say I want to import that sample document that I just showed you, and it will show you all the grammar mistakes. So you can set your audience to, like, if you're writing a research paper, set it to expert, formality, formal, domain. You gotta have a premium account to have set it at academic, but just keep it at general. Analytical. The intent is to inform, and then it will show you like all the different grammar mistakes that pop up on the side here, and you can just click one by one all the mistakes that you made. I can see that I made a lot of mistakes here, not adding articles and so many grammar mistakes. But yeah, you can just click one by one to see what kind of mistakes you made, and then run it through. And after you're done, you basically need to export it. So you just export into a Word document. Grammarly doesn't change the format or anything, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. The fourth application that I want to talk about is called Magnet, and this is MacBook Pro specific. If you have a PC, you wouldn't have to use this. I cannot believe Apple has still not gotten this correctly. It's basically being able to split screen or maximize an application onto your screen right away. So you basically open up an app store and you download Magnet. Okay, and I think it's around like $1 or $2. It's basically the cost of your coffee that's gonna make things so much more efficient. So just get this, okay? So once you download it, you'll see this pop-up sign right here, and these are all the options that you can take. So let's say you're working with a bunch of different documents, PDF files and all that, and you want to see everything on your screen. As opposed to swiping back and forth, what you can do is just drag it on the side here, and it will create an automatic split screen. You can move it anywhere as you desire, and this is a great app. Now the fifth app that I want to talk about is called Self-Control, and you can easily download this on Google by just searching it. I'll show you how it works. So this is something that you can easily download on Google. So it looks kind of like this with the skull face on it. And you can basically set the amount of time that you don't want to be distracted for. So let's say I wanted to study for 5 hours watching my MD Prospect Study With Me video. And then you can kind of click your edit blacklist. So these are some of the websites that I visit constantly when I'm working on my laptop. So Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit. I can basically block all those websites and I can press start. I'm not going to do that right now. But once you press start, you will not be able to open those websites unless you turn your MacBook off and then turn it on again. Even if you close that self-control program, you will not be able to open those websites. So this is a great tool for preventing distractions. All right, I hope you guys found this video useful. None of these apps are sponsored products, so I really encourage you guys to go and check them out. It saved me so much time and anxiety and stress personally. If you guys like the video, click the like button and subscribe if you haven't. I'll deliver more contents like this in the future. See you guys later.